It is Brighton 2, Liverpool 1. This is the unfortunate result of today's game at the MS Stadium. And I must say how much of a difficult thing it has been for us, to go to the MX Stadium and get a point. In 5 tries, and this started under Klopp, by the way. In 5 tries, we have not won a single game at the MX Stadium. And this Brighton side just proves to be a very difficult team for us, like the West Broms under Tony Pulis, like, Crystal Palace too, under each and every manager that has been there. You can name them, Alan Pudge, all those guys. It seems like Brighton are that team for us right now. And coming into today's game, I don't think I was 100% certain that we can get 3 points, but I was thinking off of the amazing performance that we had at Anfield in the Champions League against Galatasaray, we could have at least tried to build on that. And with the draw, of course, of United yesterday against Bournemouth, we could at least, see that if we win today and get 3 points, we would be 53 points and 2 behind Manchester United. And that way, then it gives us a very good opportunity, because now we'll be fighting for the 4th position and the 3rd position. But unfortunately, we do what Liverpool has been doing this season, and we lose. We don't even try to get a draw. We lose, And that's how difficult it is. And that's how difficult it has been as a Liverpool fan this season. We were outran. I don't know how much of effect this is, but it is said that we were outran 5 kilometers more today. We ran 5 kilometers less of Brighton. And out of 30 games that we have played this season, 24 games we were outran. In 24 games we were outran. It is only on 6 games that we managed to outrun our opponent. And this is something that was a bit of a foreign concept under Klopp. Our midfield would overrun each and every team that we played against. And what I liked about Klopp is that even when we lost games, right? Even when we lost games, and you see just how much we ran, you feel a bit better. You feel a bit better because you could see your players fighting for it, tooth and nail. But with this Liverpool side under Slot, it just leaves a lot to be desired. The only person who I see that runs definitely has to be Sobos. Like, he's the one that tracks back, with the same speed, and also tracks forward with the same speed. He seems to want it more than anyone else. McAllister, he tried, but things were just not working out today, was it? And Curtis Jones as well. We brought him for Ekitike, who came out in the first 10 minutes. He had a dead leg. He couldn't continue. And you would see with his omission there how that ruined our flow, how that knocked our confidence in some way. Because after he came out, you could see we weren't really the same anymore. Who were we playing for? There was no one to play for. Salah wasn't there as well. And I hope we could see with today's game that it isn't really about Salah, about him not being the best that he has always been from last season and down. I know he has always been the scapegoat, which was easier because of the numbers that he has put for us. And this season he hasn't really hit the strides as we had hoped. We look at that and we are like, maybe he is the one that is making this team perform the way it is. But I hope in today's game you could see that it wasn't really about Salah. It has never really been about Salah. It has always been about this team. For whatever reason, there's a dark cloud that hovers around our heads, and we can't seem to do anything right. You look at today's game, man. You look at today's game, and we could have played for another 90 minutes. There was never going to be a goal. There was never going to be a goal. And you look at the goal that we got today. You look at that goal that we got today. That was luck, if anything. That was an opportunity that presented itself, And from there, then there was an opportunity because Lewis Dunk obviously doesn't see our player coming. And what he tries to do is he tries to give the ball to Verbruggen. And an opportunity is seen and an opportunity is taken. And it is dunked over, and Verbruggen obviously can't get it. And that's how we get the goal. Apart from that, there wasn't any chance whatsoever that we could create a clear-cut chance. We couldn't create any clear-cut chance. Nothing whatsoever. Yeah, and it was unfortunate. We couldn't even win as many fouls, obviously, closer to the keeper to at least get a free kick, and maybe Soboslai can whip one in. We had an opportunity today, he didn't get it right, which was, I think there was only one. That was in the first half, he didn't get right. And from there on, there wasn't many opportunities that he would get to try his luck as well, and as I say, Ugo Ekitike coming off killed us, because with him there at the center, or I mean, with him there at the forward line, we are working towards giving him the ball, and him not being there now made it very difficult. Now we play with Cody, and Cody wasn't really in the game today. The only time I saw him was later on when he had an opportunity to score there, but Verbruggen had it covered, and the thing is with Liverpool, you can literally count the amount of times we tried to do something. That second half we were flat. It was just all Brighton. The Frimpong versus Minte fight there. Minte just seemed to get one over Frimpong all the time. He created more, he ran more, he tracked back more, and unfortunately, for us, they win. The 2 goals that came from obviously Danny Welbeck. The second goal that came could have been offside, but upon being checked by the VAR team, the ball was in front of him, and that was given as a goal. And you see that, and you're thinking maybe we can do something there, but Liverpool was just flat. Even after conceding that goal, they didn't show any confidence. They didn't show any sense of urgency to get one back, and he brings in Rio, of course. In the first 10 minutes, we don't try to, put Rio in the game. In fact, we looked like we were just confused, like a deer caught in the headlights. We couldn't get anything right, but well, as the dust settled, we got Rio inside the game, and you could see how he was influencing. He would beat his man, and even for him to pass the ball inside, there was just so many bodies there that it was difficult for us to get the ball inside, and we tried to stand out, and when we stand out, very difficult to get those passes inside players. It was just too difficult for us to get anything today. And of course, Chiesa as well wasn't really influential in any way, although there were opportunities that he could have used, but for whatever reason, they always found a way to disturb him in that regard. So yeah, that's Liverpool's game today. There wasn't really much to talk about, but Brighton, they played really well, and they are in the top 8 now. They are in a very good fight to also maybe include themselves in European competitions. They could probably make it in the Conference League or the Europa League as well. And you think of Fabian Hutzler, how difficult it was for him this season. He had a certain spell where nothing really seemed to work out. And of course, when he spoke, he spoke about how he feels as though that him and the fans now have, their bond has thickened, because of how they supported him through that difficult spell. And now he is finding a way to thank him. As a young manager as he is, he's finding a way to create stability in this team. And right now it's working into his favor. He's managed to beat Liverpool. He is now on the 8th position in the league. And it's good for Brighton, And for Liverpool, it's disappointing, man. And now the international break obviously starts for us. Hopefully we can come back and things can be a lot better than what happened today. So thank you guys for watching until thus far. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also share in your thoughts on the comment section. Bye-bye.